Thanks for joining us today for this sprint session of PD in your PJs. We are talking about some great ideas that you can incorporate into your 3rd through 5th grade classroom, specifically related to math and Seesaw. So we're going to do a quick check. If you can hear me, just type in yes into the question box. We were having a little bit of audio. Yay, way to go, Sarah. You're super fast. We're good to go, so you don't need to type in anymore. But we have an amazing presenter with us here today, and I'm going to go full screen and actually introduce you to Ruth Ann Bailey. So Ruth Ann Bailey is a 5th grade teacher from Katy, Texas, and in her classroom they have iPads and also a little bit of BYOD involved, so she can elaborate on that a little bit. She has a bachelor's in education and a master's in instructional technology. She is also a proud mother of a 10-month-old daughter, and you can connect with her on Twitter. She is also one of our amazing Seesaw ambassadors. So Ruth Ann, welcome. Super excited to have you.
Hi, thank you. It's so nice to be here.
All right, so we've got 3. You're going to just go with your slides here, and I will turn the slides as you need them. So take it away, Ruth Ann.
All right. Okay, I can't see your screen anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh, so yeah, it wants to play that trick with us. So sometimes it does that with us if I try to, if we're showing an embedded link. So keeping us on our toes here today. Here we go. Is that better?
There. Yes, I can see it now. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna start with Telegami is an app that you can use on iPads. And in our classrooms, each teacher has 4 classroom iPads, and then our whole district encourages BYOD, which is just bring your own device. So our students from first on to high school, they can bring their own devices to school every single day. And then that way, anytime we want to use them, whether it's spontaneous or planned, kids can bring them out and we can use them in class, which really helps us get the ratio a little bit closer to 1-to-1 for our students. So it's a really great initiative they started in our district. So for Telegami, it's a really great productivity app you can use for all kinds of things. In math, we use it a lot for kids to explain their thinking. And then they can upload their Telegami videos to Seesaw. And parents really like these because they have a little avatar, they can talk and design them to look more like them or not like them, and that's always fun. So I have an example. I don't know if will it play for everyone to watch? I hope.
Let's see.
Hi, I'm going to teach you how to do 70 divided by 7 plus 3 times 3. So first, you do 70. First, you do the brackets, which is 70 divided by 7 equals 10. And then you do 3 times 3 equals 9. Next, you add those answers together, and you get 19. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, so that's a fun little way for kids to explain their thinking. So that was for order of operations, and our kids were simplifying expressions. So for this specific lesson example, they took a picture of their numerical expression. I just printed out some little expression cards for them, and they could actually make it their background in Telegami. And then they recorded their Telegami explanation, saved the video to their camera roll, and then they could open up Seesaw and add just straight off their camera roll and submit it to Seesaw. So a really good, quick way to check your students' understanding of different concepts. And the next is Poplet Lite. That's the free version, which is why I put light in there. So Poplet is another great app. It can be used for anything, not just math. But students can create these little, they call them popples, or little bitty boxes that they can connect, kind of like a concept map, or to show different relationships between things. And they can add text or pictures or even draw inside of the popples, which is cool if a kid can't find a picture for something they want to show. So that's how they can use Poplet. So on the next slide, I have an example. In math, in 5th grade, we talk a lot about classifying quadrilaterals. So I had my kids make the hierarchy of quadrilaterals to show the relationships between different shapes. And then they also had to find a picture, and I really encouraged them to find real-world pictures of those examples. So they created their Poplet for whatever concept you want. Ours is geometry, and then they can take a screenshot of their Poplet and save it to their camera roll. But another way you can save it to your camera roll is there's a little bitty gear, and you kind of see the picture of it in my example. If you click on the gear, it gives you other options for how to save. And if you click save to JPEG, it will also save it to the camera roll, but it doesn't have all the extra buttons on the edges, which I kind of like better. It just looks a little bit cleaner. So that's just another option you have to save. And then you can open up Seesaw, and they can add from their camera roll. And then also, they can use some of the other features within Seesaw to add a little bit more to it. They can click the microphone button, record an explanation of their Poplet to kind of show like what they understand about what they created, which I think would be really awesome to do with lots of other things too. So that's Poplet. And then this is my last idea to share. It's something I started this school year. I made a QR corner in my classroom near my math station area. And I have a lot of students that are in our GT program. They tend to finish things a little bit faster. And so I wanted to come up with something for them to do that would push them a little bit and also make them the teacher so they could share and help their peers. So they basically create these tutorial videos for anything that we've already gone over in class. So they can use a recording app, or they can just record straight in Seesaw and just make a little video to explain anything, whether it's adding fractions or decimals or multiplying, whatever they want to talk about. They can make a little video, and then I print their QR codes from Seesaw. And then I put them up on this bulletin board in my classroom, so that way other students could scan the code and watch the videos if they want to review something and hear it from a friend instead of just hearing it from me for the 100th time. So on the next slide, I have just kind of another little breakdown of how to do that. So the student could open Seesaw, take a picture of a problem they want to explain using the camera button, and then record their explanation using the microphone button, and then submit it to Seesaw. And Seesaw is so awesome, and it makes it so easy to get the QR code. You don't have to go make it on another website. You can approve the item, and then clicking the little 3 dots button that's underneath that item that's been submitted, you can click on the Get Item QR Code option, and then print it directly from there. And so that's what I've been able to do for kids to be able to share. They're thinking about different things, and it's been a really awesome way. And it's a great thing to use for bulletin boards in the hallway. So if parents want to see some stuff that the kids are doing, if maybe they're not connected to Seesaw yet, you can encourage it that way too. So those are my ideas for math. So I hope that you maybe got some good things to start with, or maybe something to apply to another concept you're teaching.
I love it, Ruth Ann. Those are awesome ideas. And if you have any questions, we have a couple minutes here that Ruth Ann could take your questions. Again, I think what I love about your examples is they really can go with any grade level that teachers are working with. So even if you're working with kindergarten, you know, they can be doing Poplet Light. They could, you know, obviously be doing, you know, telegami could be a little bit tricky for a kindergartner at first, but they could definitely tackle that. But I like just the open-ended options as well, and I think the QR corner is just brilliant. I completely love that. So Heather has a little comment and question in here. She's saying, I love your QR corner idea, just like I said. Planning ahead with your QR corner idea. If you archive your class next year, will those QR codes still be able to be used, or will they no longer be active? Just trying to think ahead to save those if they make great videos to share with others. So I can take that question actually. So Heather, when you archive a class and you have a QR code that goes to that class, you're still going to be able to scan that QR code and it's still going to be active. Just note that if that content sits there untouched for over a year, and we have given you kind of plenty of warning that are you still using this archive class or not, it can be deleted. So you might want to keep the class active. I've heard of other teachers also creating other classes as well, where they kind of have that content as well. But just note that if it is in an archive class, it still can be scanned. Um, let's see. So Megan is wondering, the telegami, is there a way to demonstrate the steps? So Megan, maybe you want to elaborate a little bit on what you mean by demonstrate the steps. I'll go back to kind of her how-to here for a telegami. Maybe just talking a little bit about the steps of telegami. I think once you get in the app, it's pretty self-explanatory. Would you agree with that, Ruth Ann?
Yes, I would. It's very kid friendly. Lots of big buttons that kind of walk you through the steps, and it's just really user friendly. There's a big button that says background that you can click on, and it gives you the camera option or the camera roll option, so that way you can pick whatever picture you have. There's a little menu on the side that has different ways to change your avatar. And honestly, like, there's times where my kids just kind of play around with the app, and then they end up showing me something I didn't realize you could do with it. Or just, oh, hey, did you know you could change this about the avatar? Like, you can make their head ginormous, and I don't know why you'd want to do that, but, there's just little things like that they'll pick up on or they'll figure out. And so sometimes just letting the kids kind of explore the app is a good way for them to learn about the app and all its features too.
Absolutely. And I think if you're hoping they'll do more of a step-by-step tutorial, there's lots of options that you can use in Seesaw too, in terms of demonstrating, each step that they take in the process as well. But all right,
Right.
our time is up for today, and I want to thank you for coming and sharing these great 3 ideas for implementing in your classroom. So thanks for coming today.
Yes, thank you.